Hi, I'm Reverend Nicole Diroff, and I serve as the Associate Director at Interfaith Philadelphia. Thank you so much for picking up a passport to understanding and for journeying with us as an interfaith traveler. At Interfaith Philadelphia, we equip individuals and communities for interfaith engagement. We build collaborative relationships, and we stand in solidarity with our diverse neighbors. We know a few things about being on a journey as an interfaith traveler. We know that it never ends. We know that it is not linear. We know that you don't need to go far to go deep. And we know that you are not alone. There are many on this journey. We wanted to create a tool for all of you that was simple and yet nuanced, that was accessible for lots of different types of audiences, and that was invitational and fun to use. In this, we invite you to take on 5 ways of being in the world. The first is to be curious, to venture out, to welcome in, to stand tall, and to stand with. Let's open it up and see what's inside. So throughout this little booklet, we have spaces for you to track your progress, whether that's with a sticker or a stamp or a note. You could say something that you want to do and then mark it off. These are action steps that you might take within each of these frames. And then we have spaces for you to reflect. We have found that this work is as much about reflecting on it, integrating it, as it is about the doing of different action steps. So for example, under Venture Out, which is pretty easy to understand when you have a passport in your hand, that you might venture out, for example, to visit a friend or neighbor's house of worship. Or you're venturing out, maybe you're venturing into a deeper conversation rather than a new place. Maybe you have a conversation with someone you know and love but have never talked to before about certain topics of faith or meaning in the world. Also in this section, the reflection piece asks you to think about, what do I need to know or understand to be a good guest, to be a respectful visitor? And how might I access some of that information before even stepping into that posture of being a guest? Next up, welcoming in. It balances out the venturing out. And we have found over and over again that you learn as much about yourself as you do about another in this work. And welcoming in is a really awesome way to do that. We ask you to reflect on, when have I felt most welcome? And how can I replicate that sort of welcome for others? The next section is on standing tall. And this section, every once in a while, people want to just kind of skip over it, but we have found it is so, so important to be grounded in yourself and to be exploring your own identity as you do this work. So we invite you to put a stamp or a sticker in this as you share something you love about your worldview, about your faith tradition, about how you make meaning in the world, and maybe share something that you find challenging too, or share a response to a common misperception people may have about your tradition. Last but not least is our Stand With section. And this is an opportunity to do maybe something public where you would show support by being part of a vigil or a public action or participating in a social media campaign. But we have found over and over again that perhaps the most impactful way to stand with is through a text or an email or a hug to let someone know that you are with them. Which brings us back to relationship, which brings us back to the beginning of the passport. And again, this is something that never ends. There's no finish line. We're so glad you're with us in this. On our website, interfaithphiladelphia.org, we have resources for you. We have opportunities for you to plug into and participate in. And we hope you'll connect with us, Interfaith Philadelphia's staff team, and with one another as you journey.